What is up, and welcome back to another episode of the Girl Gains podcast. I'm Amber P.
I'm Alexis Adams.
And for today's episode, we've got a silly, fun one today. I came up with it just with some crazy things that we've done during prep. Alexis was so funny. She's like, I can't think of anything. I was like, oh, no worries. I got them all. But before we get into that, how you doing? What's going on?
Good. Saw Nelson at the gym today, and he basically said, "Don't get fatter."
Okay.
So we know what that means. It means so he was like doing calculations, and he was like, "So I don't think I'm going to tell you guys how many weeks I'm out for a while, but we've picked some shows that we want to hit." And he was like, "So what does X amount of weeks out minus pizza equal?" And I was like,
Ooh.
"Don't take my cheat." And that's how prep starts, is he likes to just pull the cheat. And I got plans. I got things I'm doing in the next couple of weeks.
That's
So
bodybuilding math. X amount of weeks minus pizza.
yeah, because like he was at the gym and I was at the gym. We were not training together. And
Yeah.
then he was like, "What else you got?" And I was like, "Just pose." So he went over and was doing his exercises, and I went to the posing room and I'm posing. And then I'm like going through my routine, and I look up and he's in the posing room. I'm like, "I didn't invite you."
What you doing?
when we split, I was like, "Okay, cool." I'm not gonna be assessed today. And then he came
Yeah.
over and he's like sitting there, and it's like we're back in Arnold prep, and I'm like, so
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. I don't have much going on other than like, well, no, I do have something going on. I have hunger cues. I'm getting a lot of sleep. I dropped 2.5 pounds out of nowhere. So
ooh,
that lets me know that like stress and everything is finally starting to come down. So I was like, that's positive. So I told Jordan, she was like, "Oh, perfect. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. That means we're on the right track." She was like, "Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about anything else, but just keep letting the stress go down." Saturday when I got off of work, Sharon. Sorry, y'all. My mom is running her mouth. My dog is snoring down here. It's just a lot happening. I got off of work on Saturday. I did Olivia's hair. Shout out to Olivia. Then we went to the bakery. She got food for Ben. She's in prep. She looks really good, by the way. I ate. Murillo made me some food. And then I came home and I was asleep by 7:45. Knocked out. I think I got about 9.5 hours of sleep. And then that's when I checked my weight the next day. Cause like, you know how when you wake up and you just feel tight and you just know? That's
yes,
how I felt. And I hadn't felt like that in a long time. Like as soon as my feet hit the floor, I was like, I feel really tight. I feel really rested. I don't feel bloated. Let me go see what the scale says. I was like, I dropped 2.5 pounds. That's good. So I'm happy about that.
that is exciting. My weight has been trending up each week, and I'm like, I like feel tighter and look tighter, but it's up, and I'm like, we ain't putting a pound of muscle on per week. So what's happening here?
Is it not time for your period, is it?
No. And not for 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, because
We
you
just
just had
not
it.
not
Is it
not
maybe inflammation or something?
I don't know.
It
Keep
is
getting
like that
like bumps of
sometimes.
food, so I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, you look good, so it's just one of those weird things in bodybuilding. Sometimes it's like, what, my weight's going up, and you want the food to go up? Okay, cool, whatever. But you utilize it. You utilize it well. Arnold's coming up. How many weeks out are we now? Like, is it 5 or 4?
I want to say 4.
4 weeks out from the Arnold. I have a couple of openings available for stage glam. So if anyone is competing at the Arnold and you need your hair and makeup done, of course, uh, you should already have a posing routine down by now. But for some strange reason, if you were doing the Arnold and you don't have your posing down, you needed Alexis like weeks ago, but you definitely need her now. So she has time, space available. Hopefully, she's got space available for you. All right, y'all. So crazy things that we've done in prep. It's always funny your first prep because you hear about prep brain, and it's so funny because it's almost like you wait for it, and you think that something is prep brain, and it's not it. Trust me, when it's a prep brain moment, you know it's a prep brain moment. One of mine, I think this was probably like one of the first ones that I ever did, and I was like, okay, that's crazy. And I'm sure we've all done it, where you go to your little coffee machine, you put your K cup in, you press start, and there's no cup under there.
Yes. And I've done that. If you've been here a long time, you've seen the stories, especially when I was traveling. Like, if you guys think that my brain gets scrambled now, my brain was like a milkshake when I was traveling. Like, if everything wasn't written in my planner, it absolutely was not going to happen, even down to put cup in coffee machine. So
Yes.
I don't use a Keurig. I use like the Ray Dunn mugs are big, and that's my
Yeah,
coffee cup for the morning.
we
So I'm
love
going to drink
those.
a full one. Um, and I make it like I have a coffee pot maker that can also make like single cups,
Mhm.
and you can set the size. So there's like small cup, big cup, travel size. That's what I use in the morning. And then half a pot, full pot. I use the travel size in the morning.
Yeah.
And like 3 heaping scoops of coffee. So it's potent.
Mm.
And if you don't put a mug there, you have a mess. I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, we have that kind of coffee Keurig duo as well, where you can make a pot or you can make the K cup. My mom has done it several times where she's gone to make a full pot and the thing wasn't
Puts
in
only
there.
a cup there.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Yeah, that, and then like the cleanup for that, the cleanup for it is such a pain in the butt. But that's, ooh, I've done that several times in prep. Something, this one here, this got me because have you ever been coherent? Like, you know, you need to do something or maybe not do something and you still do it anyway. I will never forget, I was in the shower and I knew I needed to wash my hair. For some reason, with me knowing I need to wash my hair, instead of grabbing shampoo, I grab my facial cleanser, rub it in my hands, and put it in my hair. Y'all, I have oily skin. I use salicylic acid facial cleanser on curly, coily hair. And it's so funny because as soon as I did it, I was like, oh shit.
As soon as it's on your hands and you're going like this and like you feel what it feels like on your
Yeah,
hair and
I
you're
was
like,
like,
that ain't what I thought it was. I've
yes.
done that with conditioner instead. Like I put conditioner in my hand and I don't put conditioner up here. So I put it in my hand and I rubbed it and I think it's like it was like slower processing than normal because when I was rubbing it I remember thinking that's not right. And I put it on my head and I've got conditioner now in my scalp and I was like I don't have time to rinse this out. Trying to get conditioner out of your scalp.
Yes. Right. It's the worst. And it's just so funny to me as just like, dang, like my brain is that gone. Like I know this is not right, but for some reason, like I still did it anyway. That was wild, 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 wild. And then I think one time I might have put like shaving cream on my face, but I meant to put it on my legs. Just like me in the shower doing prep, I don't know. Like once I get like deep into it, I think I just lose all brain cells, and I don't know what I'm doing in the shower. Apparently,
Well, this is not even, I'm not even in prep, and I just forgot that I was cooking noodles.
no. See, it's like sometimes I wonder. It's just like, am I frying my brain cells in prep? What are you making? Now I'm nosy.
I've been doing gluten-free pasta, and then, well, I'll just show you.
Yeah,
Gluten-free
let's
pasta,
see.
like putting it out dried, so I know how many carbs. And
Mhm.
it's like I used to cook it individual servings. But then this pasta sauce. Like,
Yeah, I've
like
seen that one before.
it's like $8 a jar. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
Um, but and then like my meat, and then it's like fake spaghetti, like bodybuilder spaghetti.
Yep.
Bodybuilder girl don't get that much food spaghetti.
Mm-hmm. Nope, that's
But
fine.
I'm like kind of to the point where not that much food. Oh, sorry. Not that much food sounds that great. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm having to get creative so that I eat my meals because I don't really want them. Like this morning, and I told Nelson, this morning I did my cardio and then like did I do vitamin emergency like packet and then my
Yeah.
glutamine and lemon juice and all that. And then I made my meal and I'm like sitting there eating it. I'm like, I do not want to eat this. And I was like, it felt like if I kept eating it, I was going to gag. So I just paused, did my posing sessions, came back to it and finished it. So I ate it, but
Mm-hmm.
it like, the appetite's not super there.
Yeah.
So I have to get creative or I'm just like, I don't want to eat it.
I've been feeling like that since honestly we got back from the Olympia. It's just kind of like, and I know it sounds stupid, but sometimes it is easier to diet because you just know this is what I got to do, this is what I got to eat, go go go. But it gets to a point where it's just like when you do have so much food and you just feel like eating is your full-time job, it's like it's hard. It's hard, and some people are like, oh, you're so lucky you get to eat so much food. It's just kind of like, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. Like I said, I think it is easier to diet because you're on. You gotta check the box. It's non-negotiable. You get it done. But when it's just so much food, and then the food keeps going up, it's like, yo,
Yeah, and like this is definitely the highest my food has been. And I've said that every prep, which is good, or like
Mhm.
every off season before prep, it's good. But I've not really been to this point. I was like when I was really stressed with my grandma and stuff, but that was like
Mhm.
stress factor, not just because it was
Right.
food. Um, and it's not terrible, but like if I get my schedule off at all, then it's like,
Oh yeah.
eh.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, um, something I did that was quite a pain in the rear was when I bought the plane ticket for the wrong dates.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, instead of getting on a plane, which I like, I had to like, all right, I'm going to do this. And then I do it. And then I'm like mentally ready to do the whole plane stuff. And then I'm like, oh, nope, I'm going to drive 8 hours because that's not right. So since then, I have not bought the cheap version. I pay the extra $50 and get the movable plane ticket. Otherwise, you're just out the money if you make a mistake.
When she told me that, I felt horrible. Absolutely horrible. That my homie was, first of all, was getting on a plane to come see me, knowing she absolutely hates the planes, books it for the wrong day, then can't even get her money back, and now has to drive 8 hours. Like, get you a friend like that, but don't get mine because that's mine. Yeah, that was not fun.
And
Oh,
even
I
since
don't know if
then,
you.
I've like when I've booked plane tickets, I always screenshot it and send it to Amber. Like, does this look
Yeah,
right? And then she's
is this
like,
right?
"Did you mean to book that for such and such
Yeah.
date?" I'm like, "No."
No, because that happened for Dallas. We were getting ready for nationals. You were like, "What's your flight number?" And I was showing it. You were like, "Okay, is this right?" I was like, "No, Alexis, that's not." I said, "Did you mean to put it that early?" You were like, "Nope, nope, that's not right."
it was like the night before. Like I was a whole
Yeah,
day off or something.
yeah, that would have been bad. Yeah, I don't know if you remember when I did this. This was like early on in our bodybuilding journey. This is when I lived at my house in Mint Hill, and I went to the ATM to get some money out. I think I was getting money out for Junior USA's, honestly, if I remember correctly. And I don't know, I guess I wasn't paying attention. Go to the ATM, put my card in, put everything in, pull off without getting the money. And I remember texting you. I was like, Alexis, I just did the dumbest thing in the world. Like I was freaking out because I think it
Oh
was like
yes,
four
I
hundred
remember that
dollars.
because I'm like, no, it sucks the money back in. It sucks the money
Yeah.
back in.
Yeah. I was like, I just lost $400. You're just like, no, it sucks it back in. It's fine. Just call the bank. So I'm like driving home, like freaking out. Call the bank. They're like, no, no worries, we're fine. Like I guess they have like little cameras there too. So they sucked it back in. But that, y'all, I ain't never that. I think that probably tops it because who could you imagine if someone
Well,
else came up behind me and grabbed my $400?
no, that would have been terrible.
And that's what I thought
My
happened. I was like, someone
ATM
just got 400.
story. So this is quite a while ago. So when Kenley and I both prepped for junior nationals, so this was 2021. He had a show. I think it was 2 weeks out because he had to qualify. So we're in Ohio for his show. Get the check-ins, realize it's cash, like they want cash, either that or PayPal. So
Wow.
I run over, like I'm like, where's the closest ATM? Of course, the hotel's ATM's not working. So I have to like run down the
I
street
remember
in
this.
Dayton, Ohio. So I like get down there, put my card in, trying to put my code in. It says my code's wrong. I'm like, my code is right. Put my code in, code is wrong. Then it keeps my card because it thinks I'm fraud. So it's like you're trying to
Yes.
get money out of someone else's account. I'm like, I have to get cash. So then luckily I have another card for a different account. So I like put that one in, transfer money on my phone, put the card in, realize I was putting in the code to my phone, not my So I'm glad that it
No.
like stole it thinking that it was
Yeah.
someone trying to steal my money. But when I put it in, I was thinking and I was like, oh, it dawned on me after when I went to put the code in again.
That's funny. Okay, so Alexis isn't allowed to book flights without me looking at it, and I'm not allowed to book hotels without her looking at it. So obviously, one of the dumbest things I've done was booking that hotel in Jersey. We can't forget about that. I was like, okay, this looks fine, no problem, let's go. And then didn't think anything of it. And then, y'all, first of all, just everything from the time I got to the Charlotte airport all the way to Jersey, it was just a hellacious time. Got to the airport, I think, I don't know, something happened there. I don't know if it was like a slight delay. I don't get into Jersey until late. And then I have to like walk miles with all my stuff to get to the rental place. Like it was just all these things. And so then when I finally pull up, and I see this tacky ass Mexican restaurant, and then basically what looks like a motel setup, I was like, you've got to be shitting me. Just like pure rage and disgust as I was pulling in. I go into this little rinky dink place. The smell, it reeked. I don't even know what it smelled like, but it was so hellacious. Never again. Never again. I'm always going to send it to you. Does this look good? Because I can't be messing up like that again.
She's like, it's Ramada by Wyndham. I don't care if no. Just like the Bayview, you don't book that either. By Wyndham, by Hilton, I don't care. You don't go there. You don't go to Red Roof Inn. You don't go to Ramada. And it was
For
stale
now
cigarettes.
on,
It
I
smelled
am
like stale
sticking.
cigarettes.
Yes. That's yes. For now on, I am sticking to what I know. Never ever again.
Oh my gosh. When I pulled into that place, I was like, one, flashbacks. Two, Amber did not mean to book this.
Amber did not. Amber did not mean to do that. I was just like, but then it's just like I was so exhausted, and there was just at that point there was literally nothing that I could do. So I was like, you know what? I just got to eat this one. And then I get to my hotel. It's funky in there. It's blazing hot. I go to turn the AC unit on, and it's bump 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 bump. I'm like, no way in hell I can sleep with that. So then I had to call the guy, and I was like, they're probably going to give me a hard time and tell me I can't change my room. Then I'm really going to have to turn up. They're like, yeah, okay, no problem. You can just switch to another room. I was like, thank God, because it's funky as hell in here. The AC ain't working right. It was just, yeah, not my finest moment.
um, I've lost a lot of headphones in prep.
And glasses.
Oh my gosh, yes, and glasses.
I don't know. Like,
Um,
there was like, you had a run where your glasses kept getting
they just
lost. And
went.
it was
They
every
just
time
kept
you were with
going.
me.
Yes.
You're always with me. And I'm
I
just
don't
like,
even
you
know
just had
how
them
I
on your
lost.
face.
I don't even know how I lost the ones in Charlotte. Like I must have just set them on a bench because I used to take them off for pictures.
Yeah.
And I stopped doing that because I kept losing my glasses. But I think I set them down on a bench and just left them there.
Because I remember when you say, "Hey, Amber, can you come take this picture?" And I was like, "Yes," but see, I don't know. I guess I never paid attention to the fact that you take your glasses off when you take your photos, and then you don't like wear your glasses like constantly all the time either, you know. So it's not like you're someone who's like Murillo, who like you have to have glasses on or contacts at all time. You can if you don't have it on, sometimes you're okay. So then I think we went to get some food, and we got food, went back to my house, we were going to the gym. You're like, where are my glasses? And I thought about it and I was like, girl, I ain't seen you with no glasses on in a hot minute. Where did you have them on? I was just like, she left them at the convention center.
I know. I was like, I know I had them on, or I would have been fussing because I wouldn't have been able to see the stage.
Yeah.
But they came. I think that's when they came off. But um, yeah, that's a random fact. I so when we went to the women's conference, whatever, 2 weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
when we were checking in, one of the ladies was like, "Oh, I was at. I remember you from the Samson Showdown where you got your qualification last year." And the girl beside her was like, "Oh, I judged that show. Do you remember me?" And I was like, where were you sitting at the table? Because I can see like the middle person and then sometimes the people to the left and right of that person. But once that, like, because the middle person's usually in between the stage lights.
Right.
And then the stage lights, I have astigmatism in both eyes and I don't wear my contacts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're past the stage lights, I can't see you. Um, so I told her that and she was like, "You don't wear contacts on stage?" And I was like, "No, I just like I know where the box is and I know where the
Yeah.
back of the stage is and that's really all I
Mm-hmm.
need to know. I know that the
That's it.
judges are usually down." Like I can see enough,
Yeah.
but I can't see specifics for sure. So I definitely not going to remember your face.
Let me tell you something. I also have an astigmatism in both eyes, and I was fine when I did the Charlotte Cup. When I did Junior USA, no, it wasn't when I did Pittsburgh. I don't know if it was just the lighting setup. I got on stage, I was blind as a bat. I could not see, and it scared the death out of me because like it was so bright. I already have astigmatism. It was so bright, and when it's bright like that with my contacts get dry, and so I was like, "Oh my god, I can't see. I can't see." So I was like, we're just going to guess. So I do not wear my contacts on stage. I haven't worn my contacts on stage since then. I'm just like, I'll thug it out. Like I can see the box, but I'm the same way. Like I can see like whoever is in the center, but then after that, because of all the lights, I go blind. I can't see anything.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's something that like my stage mom or my show day mom, they always have that in their bag at finals, like my glasses.
Oh yeah.
So I can see when we go to dinner because like
Yeah.
when I wake up in the morning and like it's fine because on show day I don't really need to see details. I try not to assess my own photos and all that.
Right.
So it's overall it's good. I'm not doing my own makeup or anything. Um, but after the show, like when I'm looking at pictures, that's when it'll start bothering me when I'm start looking at my phone. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I want it's usually cold water, um, a cold white monster, and my glasses in someone's bag.
Yes, please, please, please. That's funny. What else? You said you lost your glasses, and was it something else?
Headphones. I've left
Head.
headphones at gyms. Sometimes I get them back, sometimes I don't. I've left when like my first prep for bikini when I was running so much, I know that I left headphones on the bench at the park. I took them
Oh.
off to I used to drive to the park. I would put my car key on my shoelace. So I would like knot it into my shoelace. So I took my headphones out to untie my
Mm-hmm.
shoe because I'm not going to leave my headphones in and like be bent over at the park by myself. Um,
Right.
and then when the next day I needed to run, I was like, where are my headphones? And I'm like, I took them off, and I know where I put them, and they're definitely not there anymore.
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. They're gone. I This was a mistake, but I caught it. And I'm so glad I caught it. I was at work and I was getting ready to do color on a client. So I'm just going about it, mixing, mixing, mixing. And like when you mix color, it starts to oxidize in the bowl, like it'll turn a color. And then once you put it on the scalp, as it starts to process, it'll turn a color. Well, for some reason, as I'm mixing it and I'm looking at it and I'm like, this looks really weird. Why is this turning red? And she's a brunette. And so then I'm looking, I'm like, well, maybe it's expired. I was like, well, if it's expired, I definitely can't put it on her head. So I'm like, well, let me just wait a second. So I just kind of let it sit and I was watching to see what it was doing. I was like, this should be more brown. Why is it like this? And so then finally I grabbed the box out of the trash can. Y'all, I picked up like a fire red hair color to try to put on my brunette. Do you not know what she would have had, like these bright, crazy roots? I'm so glad I caught that because trying to recover from that one would have been nonsense. And then after that, I told myself, you will not be doing color 2 weeks out. You will not be doing that. I've never done anything like that before. So it just goes to show, like, I don't know where my mind was. I think, like, because with hair color, it's all numbers and letters. So I think I just saw, okay, that's a number 6. Let me grab that, not realizing that it had a R and not a B. And that, yeah, that would have been bad.
I have left my meals at work, or when I went to work at the hospital, left my meals at home. I think one time I just left them in the fridge. Like I didn't pack my bag at all.
What is up, girl games gang? Editing Amber is here. I'm not sure what happened to the last bit of footage. It's just me. For some reason, Alexis's part got cut out. I was trying to see if I can figure out a way to revive it. However, as you can see, I have not been able to do so. So, unfortunately, that's going to be the end of the episode. I hate ending it this way. However, I can't recover it. I think maybe her signal dropped. I don't know. Either way, that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to hit up Alexis for posing, me for stage glam, and we will chat with y'all next week.